There we go, ladies. I just shared it on your page. So now it should be on there. All right, all right, all right. We are here. We are here. I am excited to be here. Today has been a challenging, crazy day, but we're here. I am so grateful to have both of you with me on today. And can you see me, ladies?
Yes.
Trying to make sure I can see you because I can't see you. Hold on. Where are we at? Why I can't see y'all? I can't see y'all. Y'all can see me, but I can't see you. Okay. There we go. Okay, I'm sorry, y'all. I couldn't see my beautiful guest, but I am back. I'm telling you, the devil has really been trying to attack me all day today. He just don't want this whole day, glory for the Lord. He
That's
acting a
right.
fool, but he ain't
Amen.
gonna win today, and I'm gonna take this day with a smile. So I am Dr. Lakeisha McGee. I am the founder of the Heal Her Too Foundation. As you all know, my foundation is to provide wraparound services for breast cancer survivors and their families, their loved ones, those who are taking care of them. That is what we do. We are here to bring awareness to women that look like us. We want to bring awareness, support. We want them to get out here, get those mammograms, get those ultrasounds, and we want them to share their stories so that others could know it can happen to you. We want them to share the story so others can say, hey, we don't want this to happen to you. So that's why we are here. We come every third Sunday for Survivor Sunday, where we have guests come on and tell their testimonies. These are real stories. These are very personal stories. These are stories that no one want to have. No one wants to be a part of this beautiful breasty club, but we are here. And I say beautiful because we find each other and we stand together and we tell our testimonies and we continue to do the work because awareness is now our job. So today I have my soror Sandra Thomas Jenkins. She's a resident of, how do I say that? Gluckstadt?
Yes.
Hey, Gluckstadt, Mississippi. She is married to Daryl Jenkins and the mother of Darian Alexandria Jenkins and Matthew Adam Jenkins, mother-in-law to Kaya Hillman Jenkins. Sandra was diagnosed with stage 3C breast cancer in July of 2018. She was diagnosed with stage 4 metastatic breast cancer. And metastatic, for those who may not know, means that the breast cancer, it has spread throughout her body to various parts. In her case, it spread in her liver in 2019. Sandra was officially inducted into the Remission Hall of Fame in October of 2022. Whoop, 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 whoop.
Amen.
Sandra is a devoted Christian that credits her healing to God Almighty. She is a member of College Hill Baptist Church and a member of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated, SKIWI. Sandra enjoys telling others about Christ and bringing others to Christ, as well as spending time with family and friends, her dog Bentley, ooh, he expensive, traveling and reading. Thank you, Sandra, for being here with me today. Thank you,
Thank you for
Sora.
having me. Thank you for having me.
Tatiana is a survivor. She's currently fighting metastatic breast cancer. She was born in Chicago, Illinois, to Shanta and, did I say that right, Shanta? Shantae and Kenneth Bentley in July of 1990. She currently lives in Alabama with her beautiful family. She was diagnosed in July of 2019 at the age of 29. 29, and have been on this journey ever since. One thing that she's learned is God never fails, and He has everything working for her good. Thank you for being here with me, Tatiana. Thank you, thank you. It is so funny, and I've told this story before. Every Survivor Sunday, I always, and I don't know how this happens, and it hasn't been, it's been a little intentional, but it's been God ordained that every time I have a Survivor Sunday, the two people have something in common with their breast cancer journey. Yes, we all have something in common because we're going through this journey, but at the time, Sandra, I didn't know that you had metastatic. I knew that Tatiana did, but I didn't know that you did too. So I'm just awed at how God puts things together every time, how He works that thing out. Because you might can share some advice with Tatiana to help her through because you know what I mean? So it's just God ordained. So Tatiana, I'm gonna start with you because 29,
Yeah.
29. You understand? I keep telling people age has no barrier to this thing. You know, when I was young, I didn't know much about breast cancer, but I thought it was a
Hmm.
old white woman's disease, quote
Right.
unquote. That's
Hmm.
what, as a kid, that's what you thought, but it's not. It is a anybody's disease, and it is
Yeah.
definitely a disease that's attacking the African American community younger and younger.
Yeah.
Can you tell us about that moment when you found out that you had breast cancer, and was it metastatic from the beginning?
No, it wasn't metastatic from the beginning. I had a lump in my right breast that I ignored for a while.
Mm-hmm.
I just thought it was just a benign cyst or just a benign tumor and didn't really pay attention to it. And one day, I went to the doctor and said it started hurting. So I went to the doctor, they did a biopsy, and on my dad's birthday, that's when I found out it was stage 2 breast cancer.
On your dad's
And
birthday.
mhm.
How many days before your birthday? Or
I
after?
was
It was before or
actually,
after?
my birthday is the 17th. So a couple days after my birthday,
After your
that's when I
birthday.
found out. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was
So what,
hard. It was
yes.
hard. I was shocked. I was scared. I was all over the place because I knew I wanted to be here for my children. And I nothing else mattered to me but my kids. So I just prayed to God that I would be here to see them grow
So
up.
who did you tell first when you got the news?
Um, my mom. My mom. I was
And
on the
how was
phone with my
that?
mom and she just started yelling and crying with me.
Yeah.
It was heartbreaking because she didn't want to see her baby go through that. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
29
Hmm.
is unimaginable, quote unquote, but it's not.
Hmm.
And that's why we have to continue to tell these stories and tell women, go get checked. Don't wait. If
Hmm.
you have
Yeah.
any concern, go,
Yeah.
go. So 29, you find out, you tell your mom, you're scared, obviously. What happened after that?
I told my husband, I told my children, um, of course, we went through all of the stages of, disbelief, crying and
Mhm.
praying, crying more, telling the whole family. And then I went through surgery, and then I had to go through, no, no, I didn't need to do surgery first. I went through chemo first, and then I had to do
Mhm.
surgery. And then I had to do, I think, like 12 rounds of radiation. And then after that, they said I was cancer free. And then after that, maybe a couple months later, it came back in my lungs. So I had to
Mhm.
do get surgery again. I had to get my right lower lobe removed. They said I was cancer free. And then in 2023, I had a seizure out of nowhere. I was doing fine, working out, everything was fine. And then they said that it had spread to my brain, my liver, my stomach, um, back in my lungs. And they didn't know, you know, if they needed to do end of care, hospice, they didn't know what to do. But God, He
Okay.
saw fit for me to be here.
So, and I'm often
Mm,
plagued by how it comes back. It comes back so
Mhm.
aggressive and it's not
Mhm.
seen. How
Yeah.
did you stop going for your checkups, or what
No, I
happened?
kept going. I kept going for my checkups. I kept doing everything I had to do, kept taking my medicines, getting my exams, and everything was fine. But somehow it just came back and spread to everywhere, my brain, everywhere.
It's so disheartening. And the last time I had um my and I'm sorry, I'm just a little emotional because it's just so disheartening that you go for your treatments, you keep up with everything, you do
Hmm.
everything that you're supposed to do, and then they say you're okay, and
Yeah,
then all of a sudden it's spread. Not that it's
right.
back, but it's spread from here, there. Like, how
Yeah,
does that go undetected? I don't understand that,
yeah.
you know?
I don't either. Me and my husband, we've asked so many questions, and
Yeah.
they always say, we have this next best medicine if this doesn't work, and you know, everything doesn't work all the time, and you know, it's not really promising. So
What
it's just
type of breast cancer did you start off with? Like, what did you have? Was it triple
um
negative, HER2, what did you
it
have
was
in the beginning?
her too.
It was HER2.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Um, Whenever I go for these MRIs, and I asked the doctor last time I went, and this is why I asked that you stop, because when you go back for your MRIs, they're only doing an MRI of the area that was affected.
Hmm.
And I just feel like you need to do more than that. It's because I'm a survivor, you need to do
Hmm.
an MRI and check my whole body, my everything,
Yeah,
because it
I
can
agree.
spread. And I believe that that is how it spreads so rapidly, so viciously, because you're only monitoring the area that it was in. And
Hmm.
that, to me, that just doesn't make sense. But that's what they do. They
Hmm.
MRI the area that you had previously had breast cancer in, okay, and they don't see it there. Oh, you're clear. But what about if it spreads somewhere else? Because
Exactly.
my body is susceptible to it, because I've already been a candidate of breast cancer. So
Exactly.
that's something that I definitely want to continue to fight for, is that I feel like they should do more than just the little area that was already affected. That's just not enough, and I feel like that's one of the ways that it's able to slip through. Honestly,
Hmm.
that's my personal opinion. So currently, are you in treatment?
Yes, I am.
Okay. So how often do you go now for your? Are you doing chemo?
Yes, I am. I'm doing chemo for my lungs. I take Halaven twice. Well, it's a cycle of two, and then I'm off 1 week. So I'm just doing that until they tell me not to take it anymore.
Is it working? Or do they see any progress with the medication?
I just started it, so I'm not sure, how it's working, but I should have a scan coming up soon, so I should be able to see how my body is responding to it.
How are you feeling?
Some days are better than others. Like today, I feel um kind of bad. My chest hurts and my head was hurting earlier, but I'm okay.
Yeah. You you would definitely be in my prayers all the time. Um, I haven't had metastatic, so I don't know what that's like, but I know what it's like to have breast cancer, period. I know what chemo does. I know what radiation does. I know the worries of going to get a scan, no matter what
Hmm.
stage you're in with breast cancer. I know what that feels like. So
Yeah.
you are definitely in my prayers, and I pray that the medication, I pray that they find, or that they release the treatments that they have. I
Yeah.
don't believe that they put men on the moon and there's no cure.
Right.
I just believe that this is a big money maker, and they just, greed. We know what
Exactly.
greed does.
Hmm.
Um, but I will definitely be praying for you and
Thank you.
your family. So how this was in 2019 when you was first diagnosed?
Uh-huh.
So okay, you've been, what is it, 7 years now?
Hmm.
2019. I can't,
Hmm.
about 7 years.
About 7 years, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So are you working now, or
Yeah, I
are
never
you
stopped
able
working.
to, or okay,
Never stopped working.
okay,
When I do feel bad, I call in. My manager is really good with working
okay,
with me. She's really good with working with me with my appointments, anything
hmm,
that I need. I feel like I should stay active. I don't want to
okay,
sit at home and sulk
hmm,
and be depressed and sad. I want to still live my
yes,
life and
absolutely.
continue to do the things that I normally do. So
Hmm. Are you in a support group? Are you in
no,
therapy?
no.
Okay.
I feel like I need
You,
to.
yes, yes, we do have a support group. We do.
Hmm.
And I have another young lady. We wrote a book called 12 Shades of Breast Cancer. And in that book,
Hmm.
one of the women that's in the book, she has metastatic breast cancer, and she's been it may be 10 or 11 years now. And
Hmm.
she looks amazing. She feels amazing. She takes like total control over it. I would love to connect you with her
Okay.
because she done went to Africa and built houses and project. I mean, she
Wow.
does all this stuff, and she says that she's going to have control over her body, over the disease, over what
Hmm.
happens, and I absolutely love that. So I'm
I
going to
love
reach out to
that.
her, and I'll see if I can connect you guys because
Okay.
she might have some information for you as well to help you through it because she is doing amazing. She's doing really good with
Hmm.
it. So I'll definitely do that for you.
Okay.
I appreciate you being here, especially today when you say you don't feel good. I
Hmm.
appreciate you still coming to talk about this thing because this thing just comes out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Do
And it's
do
really
you have a
important.
family history of it?
Yeah, my aunt had it. Well, my aunt had breast cancer, and
Mhm.
she's in remission. It hasn't come back. She's doing really good,
Okay.
but I mean, it just came out of nowhere for me, and it
Yeah.
just, you know, it didn't ruin my life, but it took a toll
Yeah.
on me.
It threw a little monkey wrench, a few little
Yeah.
complications. Yeah. But we're here. So we're grateful. We're thankful. I tell people every day that our situation could be so much worse than what it is. So we
Right.
just have to keep, thanking him because it says in all things, in all seasons, in all situations, in all, give him thanks. Give him
Yep.
thanks. So that's what we just have to
That's
keep
right.
doing
Hmm.
until we take our last breath. Like you said, live your life,
Hmm.
do the best you can. I definitely want you to do a support group
Hmm.
just because it's so much easier to have somebody that understands that you can cry with, that you can,
Yeah.
share this with that. And even with our spouses and our children and our
Hmm.
parents, if they've not been there, they don't get it the same way, you
Hmm.
know. And we don't want to feel judged. We just want to be able to say, this is how I'm feeling today. And you
Hmm.
want somebody to understand. So I would love for you to join our support group or find you a support group for sure.
Yeah,
And
I would love that.
yeah, and we just continue to support one another. That's it. The
Hmm.
scary part is, as you said, you were clear, and then you go back, and now it's here. And
Yeah.
that's I think about that all the time as being, a survivor. It's 4 years for me now. But if I miss a doctor's appointment, if I,
Hmm.
it's the same thing. It's just something
Yeah.
that never goes away. And it doesn't say we don't trust God. It doesn't say that because we do, but there's that
Yeah.
human component that says, I know what I've been through,
Hmm.
like they say, you forgive, but you don't forget.
Exactly.
So yeah. Sandra,
Hey.
hey, beautiful. You got on your crown today. I told you I should have went and put mine on this little fro, my little curly fro. Tell us a little bit about your journey.
First, I want to say I want to give my crown to Tatiana.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
I really
Thank
do
you.
because you are a warrior.
yeah,
Thank you.
absolutely.
Yeah. Okay. Well, my journey started in 2018. But I want to say that in 2017, in November, I had a mammogram, and I started getting mammograms in 2002. I think I was 35 years old because I was having those fibrocystic adenomas in my breast, and they were giving me problems. So I ended up having
Can you
surgery.
explain what those are for people who don't know? Women who
Those,
don't know for sure.
those are those little lumps you feel in your breast, and they get hard and they get sore. And
Yes.
women, please take it from me. Make your doctor do more than just examine those. Ask them for a mammogram. Because I did it and I had them removed, and then they came back. I had them removed again. Then when I went in to have the mammogram done in 2017, normally I get a report and I keep up with all of my reports, you know. And for some reason this year, I guess I was turning 50. I was excited about being 50. I didn't even think about the mammogram report. And in July of 2018, I found the lump under my arm. And I thought maybe it was a hair bump. So I was going to visit my sisters, and it bothered me the entire weekend. So that Monday, we were just going back to work. I was a school counselor, and we were just going back to work. So I was busy doing some things. And by that Wednesday, I couldn't take it any longer. And I called my OBGYN. I made an appointment. And I went to the doctor that following Monday. But that Thursday, before I went to the doctor that following Monday, I found a lump in my breast. So I found 2 lumps. And I knew then that it was not a hair bump. And when I went to my doctor and they did the mammogram, and the radiologist said that he was 95% sure that it was breast cancer. And then when the surgeon, after they did all the, markers and all of that stuff, he confirmed that it was stage 3C HER2 positive cancer. And I was so angry because I had just had a mammogram 6 months before.
Girl, those little mammograms, listen, and I'm not gonna say those little, because they do help some people for sure.
Yeah.
But I had a mammogram with a lump in my breast about 5 or 6 months before this, before my nipples started bleeding, and my mammogram came back clear. I had 2 or 3. I had probably had 2 mammograms in my life, 2 or 3 at that time, 2, because I was diagnosed at 42. I'd had 2 clear with a lump in my breast. But the problem is, yes, the knot was there, but they'll say, oh, you got dense tissue.
Dense tissue.
Or they won't biopsy. So we also need to push them for ultrasounds and make them biopsy these knots. If you're feeling a lump, make them biopsy or do something. So 6 months prior, 5 or 6 months prior, like you're saying, I had it, and nipples bleeding, not in my breast. And then they found 3 lumps in my breast. One was in my chest wall. I would have never found that. 3. Yeah.
So you ladies, you need to push for 3D ultrasound along with your mammogram. And even now they're doing MRIs for the new thing now. So you need to push for that, especially if they say you have dense breast tissue. Please do not just take that. Don't just take that and sit on it.
Right.
You need to advocate for yourself.
Absolutely. Because you are the expert on you. You know your body. You know when you're not feeling well. There's another young lady in the book as well. She is a 2-time breast cancer survivor. Her 2 sisters were diagnosed. She lost one of her sisters in January of this year, and her daughter. Her and her daughter were in treatment together. Had she not pushed, she went to the emergency room with a headache, and she kept telling them, I need a mammogram. They kept telling her no, and she wouldn't leave until she got a mammogram. Had she left, she would not be here. That mammogram came back positive for breast cancer because she knew her body. She felt it. She said, no, this is not something. You have to make them respect your decisions and your health. You are the expert on you. But in that same token, we have to be the experts on us. We have to make our appointments, take care of ourselves. Don't put it on the back burner. Go to those appointments.
Yep,
Check on
absolutely.
your own self.
Yeah.
Because if we don't, no one else
No.
possibly can.
No.
We have to.
Yeah.
No.
We
And
have to.
you have to do it. And ladies, you know, some doctors will say, when I got my mammogram at 35, the lab techs or whatever you call sonographers or whatever you call them, they were talking about it. They was like, he sent her over here to get a mammogram. Why does she need a mammogram? Well, number one, because my aunt had breast cancer. Number two,
Mm-hmm.
because I had dense breasts and I kept getting those fibrocystic adenomas. So that was a reason, you know, that I needed the mammogram. Don't let anybody talk you out of getting the mammograms. You go ahead and get the mammograms. And especially now we have people that have the mobile units that are giving free mammograms.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yes. There are additional resources as breast cancer continues to unfortunately grow as it's growing. More
Mm-hmm.
resources are becoming available. And because we have so many people now that are saying, hey, we need to make this a national awareness on a whole different level. We need to support these initiatives and push for better care, better breast health care.
Mm-hmm.
It's more resources available now. They're still in certain smaller towns and things that it's not as readily available, but
Mm-hmm.
that's why we're here to continue to say, hey, we need more resources. We need them. We need them in
Yeah.
those smaller towns. We need them in places where people are not getting them, where women can't afford them, where they don't have health insurance, where they're afraid of doctors because of things that they've done to us in the past. We
Yes.
need people to continue to talk about this and bring awareness to it.
Absolutely.
So, Sandra, you said you were stage 3,
Mm-hmm.
and then what happened from there?
Well, I started chemo. I don't remember how many rounds of chemo I got, but I got chemo. Then I had surgery. Then I had 33 rounds of radiation, and I continued on to chemo. And then in 2019, um, when I had my scans done, you know, I was getting the scans periodically. I got my scans done, and it showed that it had metastasized to my liver. So I had to
Mm.
go in and I had to have part of my liver removed. I had a liver resection. So I didn't have to do any more radiation, but I had to continue on with chemotherapy. And shortly after then, they put me on the pill. And I went back and had more scans done, you know, between time. And the cancer came back in the liver again. So this time put me back on chemo, and I stayed on chemo. And as a matter of fact, I'm still on chemo. I take what is
Mm-hmm.
called Enhertu, which my oncologist explained to me that it's like a lock and key for the type of cancer that I have. And
Mm-hmm.
I've been on it, I know, going on 4 years now. I've had 57 rounds of it. So this past
So you
30,
had HER2 as well?
yeah, HER2 positive.
Oh, okay. All three of us was, well, I had HER2 positive, I was triple positive, HER2 positive, estrogen and progesterone positive,
Oh,
but I had HER2 as well.
right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
So I'm still on it now, and the plan is I get scans on November 21st, and we're gonna see what the scans say then, and I might get a break, but it's only gonna be a break for Thanksgiving and Christmas, and I'll
So
Mm-hmm.
start.
how often do you take your treatments?
I take my treatments every 3 weeks.
Okay.
So I have a
And you
treat.
go every 2 weeks. Tatiana, you have yours every 2 weeks.
Yeah. 2 on, 2 off.
Mhm.
I mean, 2 on, 1 off.
And how are you handling the treatment? I know for myself when I was in chemo, I swear, I get treatment today. I'd be down for almost 2 weeks. And then when I start to
Yeah.
feel better, it was time for treatment again.
That's the way it was for
Yeah.
me. Yeah, I be down, and
What
the
for me, it's not bad. I'm normally okay after treatment. Um, I don't really have any issues. Now before when I did like the Red Devil and other chemo treatments, I was down like
Yeah.
for the rest of the week.
I ended up in the hospital after the first round of chemo. I was in the
Mm-hmm.
hospital for 5 days. It was
Wow.
absolutely grueling. I mean, I told the doctor we couldn't do, I was taking 4 different medications, 4 different cocktails, and I was like, I can't do all 4 of them together anymore. It
Mm-hmm.
was, I couldn't keep anything in, down, up, around. It was,
Yeah.
I felt like someone had snatched my soul, literally. I
Yeah.
Wow.
sat down one day and I just felt like somebody just snatched my soul out of my body.
Yeah.
I was drained. There was
Yeah.
nothing,
Mm-mm.
no air, no nothing.
Yeah.
It was so
Mm-mm.
unbelievable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I knew, God says all sickness is not unto death. So I knew that it was a test and I was going to pass. And
Excuse me.
no matter what happened, I knew that I would be able to tell this story,
Mhm.
Right.
So,
Right.
um, you both are warriors. You're both telling the story. You're both here trying to help somebody else, telling other women,
Yeah.
go, don't wait. Don't
Mhm.
sit on this. This is nothing to
Yeah.
play with.
Nothing.
And don't
Go.
think you're too young. You know, I never would have thought at 29 to
Mhm.
34 I would be dealing with this. But
Yes.
I've learned that God brought me to it for a reason.
Reason.
And
Yes.
the reason why I'm still going through it is because He wants me
Mhm.
to speak out and help other people deal with their
Yes.
journey.
That's right.
So
Yes.
He's not taking it from me for a reason. And I'm okay with that.
Mhm.
I'm totally okay with that.
Yeah.
What helped me
Yeah.
get through was that I learned that there was purpose in my sickness,
Yeah.
Yes.
and
Hmm.
it was a purpose, and it's still a purpose in my
Yeah.
Yes.
sickness. So yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
Somebody said if he bring you to it, he'll bring you through it. He don't bring us to nothing that he can't handle. He already knows how it's going to end, and he knows why we're here, what the
Right.
purpose is. This is not a battle that I would have ever taken on, but he knew somebody needed to be sitting on this side to say we
Yeah.
need to tell our stories.
Yeah.
He knew
Exactly.
that I would say I'm gonna do this, even though let me tell you something. This thing is also, it messes with your mental.
Yes.
Yes, it
I have
does.
battled with depression. I mean,
Hmm.
it's just, and people would be like, oh, would have never thought it, or oh, you would have never, because you don't understand
Mm-mm.
unless
Yeah.
you've been, like we just got
Mm-mm.
through saying, every time I go for a scan, it's like, oh my God, it's a whole big
Yeah.
emotional thing to get set up to go get a scan, to wait for
Right.
results, to not,
2 days in
and
it.
it's just emotional.
Yeah,
Yeah.
2 days in advance. You start.
Yeah.
So
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then, you look at your body sometimes and you're like, oh my God, this is
Yeah.
what
whew,
I've had to, some women, I've seen surgeries and they look totally botched, but I don't know how deep the cancer was or what they had to
right.
remove. But
Hmm.
I'm so grateful that my surgeon, he did a good job. But even with that, it brings insecurity sometimes to your
Yeah.
body. It just, it's a lot that goes with
It
this thing.
is.
It's a lot. And then,
Yeah.
even as far as being married and being intimate with your spouse, sometimes you just don't have the desire. You just don't feel like it. You just don't. It's so much. There's menopause. There's just a plethora of things. There's,
Yeah.
your
Yeah.
skin changes.
Thanks.
It's
Yeah.
so much. It's so
Yeah.
much that you have to really walk in being confident and comfortable, and
Hmm.
giving grace to yourself. I'm in a season right now that I'm just working on giving grace to myself.
Yeah.
Just grace.
Yeah.
Just grace. Your hair changes. It just
Yeah.
I'm just giving grace to myself right
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
So I was telling someone that this year I have not done as much as I would have liked to have done. We planned stuff with my
Hmm.
nonprofit. We planned tons of stuff, but I just didn't have it in me.
Hmm.
At certain points, I had to just say, I don't have it. I
Hmm.
can't give it right now. I had to really be able to say those things for myself, that I just didn't have it. But I was like, I'm going to make sure I do my Survivor Sunday. I'm still doing certain smaller things, but I didn't have it in me to go out and do the big things this year. I just didn't.
Yeah.
I'm working on next year. Next year, I got some big plans. So
Yeah.
I'm working on that energy for next year. But this year, I had to take some time and just sit down for me.
Yeah. And there's
And
nothing
that's
wrong with
that.
that.
And
Yeah.
that is totally that. So
Mm-hmm.
there's a lot. And as I said, when you're in a support group with your sisters, your breasties, we understand what each other is going through. The breasties get
Right.
it.
That's right.
So so you both are still in treatment to some sort. I'm praying that it's helping. You both are smiling, you're here, you're telling your stories. How are your families doing with the continuation of it's metastatic and it affects the whole family? How are your
Yes,
families
it
dealing
does.
with not knowing what can happen or what's, how are they doing?
Well, my son, I start with my son. He's 27 and he has anxiety, but long as I keep him in the loop and I'm honest with him, because he was in Kuwait when I got diagnosed and he didn't know until he returned home, because I didn't want him having to, jeopardize his safety, worried about me. So as long as I'm honest with him and I keep him in the loop, he's okay. My daughter, on the other hand, she's a very strong person. And, I taught them about God when they were children and praying and, to pray through all things. And so, and then my husband, he's been an excellent, excellent caretaker. And, when I'm feeling bad, he lets me feel bad. He doesn't say get up and get yourself together. None of that foolishness. He lets me feel bad, and he takes care of me, and he understands that with it being metastatic, that one day it could possibly go somewhere else, or it could just stay. I could just stay as I am, and he's a praying man, and there are nights that I just feel his hands on me, praying for me. And I sleep better, knowing that I have somebody who's taking care of me. Like you said, that first week, after my first week, I just told him I wanted to give up. And he was, there telling me, you can't give up. You can't give up, And had it not been for him and my two kids, I would have given up, And you mentioned losing your mind and your mental health. In January 2020, I was headed to a nervous breakdown. And I asked him to take me to the hospital and admit me, because I was just all over the place. It was terrible. But later on, what they found out was that I had a diagnosis of COVID before COVID was even made made aware that it was COVID. That's what was going on with me. But when I tell you it was rough, it was rough. But as a family, we pray and we talk about it, and they keep me going. And days that I don't feel like going, they don't hold that against me.
Amen. Amen. I I just thank God for keeping me. I mean, that's it, because throughout this thing I have been able to see my first grandson born. He's 2. He'll be 3 this week.
Okay.
And had it went the other way, I wouldn't have gotten to see my first grandson born. So it is definitely it's definitely it's hard, but it's something to be thankful for, to be here, even in the midst of everything that we have going on. Seriously, it is it's what is his wonders, one of his magical wonders, his works, it's still, you don't know why, you don't want to question, even though I've learned that it's okay to ask. It is okay to ask.
Right.
And he will give you the answers. It is definitely okay to ask him. The Bible says that you can ask.
Yes, right.
But you just don't want to say, why me? Why not you?
Yeah, right.
Why not? Because we don't know why he chose us. What is the plan? Why did he choose you and not somebody else. He might have chose you because he know you were strong and you were going to fight. He know you were going to spread, not only talk about the disease, but also talk about his goodness and how glad you are to be here. So it is definitely a journey. It's the Breasty Club, the one we didn't sign up for.
It is. It is. And I'm just grateful. I'm grateful for my family. They've been really, really wonderful. When they see me happy and, enjoying my day and just smiling, they feel all right with everything. I don't want to worry them, so I just try to keep it at a minimum with them, not expose everything that I'm going through, but they do know that I'm still in treatment and I'm doing okay and I'm going to be fine. My
How
daughter
old are
is
your
off.
children?
My daughter's 20. I have a
Oh, okay.
17-year-old and two 11-year-olds.
Oh, okay. Okay. You got
Yeah.
twins.
Mm-hmm.
Lucky you. Yes.
Yeah.
Because this 112-year-old I got is driving me insane.
Yeah.
Yes.
But
Oh,
my
yeah.
husband is everything. Like he is so supportive, and if he sees me, smiling and okay, then it makes him feel better about everything. So I just have a good support system, and they just make me want to live for them.
Right.
Yeah, well, I'm a divorcee, so I didn't have a spouse going through that sickness, but I had an amazing support system. My mother, my children, my friends, my sorors, even just my Facebook family was so supportive. Like seriously, the messages they sent, the support, I had an amazing support system. So I won't complain at all. And that support system pushed me and kept me going to say, when I would go to chemo, I would go live on Facebook and I would be smiling. I had my lipstick on. I had to keep me some eyelashes. I had no hair, y'all know, not a lick of it. But I'm gonna keep some lashes and some lipstick on, baby, with my little beanie hats. I didn't wear wigs. One of my girlfriends got me a wig made, and I wore it one day. It wasn't me. I didn't mind. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna rock this bald head, and I'm gonna be okay with it. And I was comfortable with it. Until them steroids started kicking in, and I started getting a little chunky. Then I was like, wait a minute, now you're a little chunky with no hair. But I was just grateful to be able to do that. There were days that, like I said, the medications are really, I still take, I half take, but I should still be taking a nostril for another year. And my sister and my kids get on me about not taking it like I should consistently, but it bothers my joints hurt, the medication. There's always a side effect to the medication all the time. I remember days when I could hardly walk up the stairs because my legs and my joints was hurting so bad. So I should be doing better with taking this nostril, but I have taken, I ain't gonna lie, but I just hate the side effects of it. But and these are the things that people don't know about when you are still taking medications, the side effects, how you still feel, how it affects your joints, the headaches that it makes you have, or the nausea, or the whatever.
The fatigue.
The fatigue, absolutely, the different things, So just don't be like me. Be good. Take your medicine.
I'm there now where my joints hurt.
They do. Oh my God.
One leg is numb on my left side. I don't know why it's numb, but all the way down to my foot, I can't feel any sensation. And it's weird. It's been going on for about a month and a half now. So
I still don't have, they took 8 lymph nodes out of my arm. So this arm still stays numb. I was at the gym about 2 weeks ago and I was lifting, and I remember asking the trainer about, I was like, this arm really hurts and this one don't. And then it dawned on me, oh, you just don't feel it. because your
Yeah.
arm is still numb from the lymph node, so
Yeah.
you're just not feeling it. But this one, you're feeling the workout.
Yeah.
So, once again, the side effects, those wonderful side effects that we still have to deal with, because I don't
Yeah.
know how long it's going to take, if ever it'll completely
Right.
come back to normal,
Right.
But once again, we're here. We're here to tell our stories. We're here to fight. We're
Absolutely.
here to help the healthcare system to write these letters and to complain about how insurance don't cover enough,
Right.
or how there was another young lady in the book. We had all types of stories going on in this book. It was 12 of us, and everything, like, stuff was happening. And she went for her radiation, and they told her she had to pay $10,000 before she can start radiation.
What?
How do you tell someone who's fighting for their life that if she doesn't have $10,000, she can't start radiation? After just finishing chemo, you're scared, you're in the middle of it's just so
Yeah.
many things that still need to be covered with healthcare when it comes to this
Yeah.
disease, because nobody chooses this.
Right.
I'm
Yeah.
not a smoker. I'm not. I may have a drink once a year or something.
Yeah.
I didn't choose this.
Right.
Right.
So, there's still so much work left for us to do. Speaking out, sharing our stories, encouraging women, fighting the healthcare system, even talking to women about bras that they need now, because now there's a different kind of bra you need, because
Right.
the regular ones don't fit the
Yeah.
right way no more, because your breasts are not symmetric anymore. This
Right.
just your there's just so much
So
It's a
much.
lot.
that
Yeah.
goes on behind the scenes
Yeah.
with this disease. So, as I said, this year I've been taking the time to try to focus and work on me, to make sure that I'm able to be in the right frame of mind and care to continue to help other women.
Right.
And because that is truly my mission, is healing. Healing is so important. And healing is
Yeah.
not just the physical from the disease, but it is the mental, it is the emotional, it's just so much,
Right. Yep.
Yeah.
So I was gonna ask a question and I forgot, because we I guess so involved, I forgot. So, what, if anything, are you doing? Do you speak about breast cancer? Do you share your testimonies? What do you do to, obviously you're here. So tell me, what do you do, or what would you like to do as far as being able to help others in this journey?
Well, what I've
I
done, I think it was 2 years ago, maybe. I share on Facebook a lot when I go to my treatments, and
Yes.
I always share little things, not just when I go to treatments, but I used to share quite a bit. I got away from that, and that was one of the things God was, laying on my heart to do. And I just got lazy, about it. And I would get, email inboxes from people saying how much what I've said truly helped them. But I think it was 2 years ago, I asked for my birthday that they would donate money so that I could buy things for people who were just being diagnosed. And I forgot how much money I got. But what I did, I ordered cups and socks and all kind of stuff, and I boxed it up. And I think I had like 25 or 30 people that I mailed the items to. And one lady in particular, I mailed her aunt and I used to work together. And the aunt told me that she had been diagnosed. And I sent her box 1 week, and the next week she died. And her cancer was that far gone. And I spoke last week for my cousin, the Deltas up at Bolivar County. I spoke at Delta State about breast cancer awareness. And I also spoke at my church probably 2 years ago. But I talk to people daily if I'm out, and I share God's goodness. I'm a people person, and I don't run into any strangers. So if I get into a conversation, I'm going to share about God, and I'm going to share about my breast cancer. and that's just what I do, and I was sharing about God before I even had breast cancer, but even more so now that I've had breast cancer, and I got even more of a testimony to share. So, but what I would like to do, I would like to be an advocate for those, especially those in those small rural towns, like the small town that I come from. I'm from a small town, Shaw, Mississippi, and I would just love to be an advocate for those small town people, to help them, knowing what I've been through and knowing what it takes to get what you need to get to feel better and be better while you're going through this diagnosis. So that's one of my goals or desires that I would want to do.
Yeah. As for me, I've shared my testimony a couple of times at my church and my aunt's church. I share things on Facebook and TikTok, Instagram. Tell everybody go get checked. You're not too young. Just telling them, you need to get your mammograms and everything. One thing that I would like to do is be a voice for people who are going through their journey and continue to share my story so that way other people can feel comfortable sharing theirs. I feel like going through this, I didn't have a lot of support, like the support groups and everything. So I felt alone and didn't really talk about it much. I just felt like nobody understood. I was by myself, going through everything. But now I understand that it's a lot of people out there, in support groups, resources that I can be a part of, and they would understand me and they would, create a sisterhood with me in order to get through everything that we're going through. So, yeah.
I'm gonna start putting my flyers back out for the support group, definitely, so we can start back just building, getting stronger. And it's so important because there are some women who are not ready to share their stories. When I first was diagnosed, the first emotion I felt was embarrassment. And I don't know why, but that was the very first emotion I felt, was embarrassment. Now, why? I don't know. I still don't know. Other than the fact that, society has made African American women out to be so strong and tough, and we have to just fight through this and fight through that. So I feel like that has something to do with it, that not me, I'm not supposed to get sick, no way. And that's one of the stigmas that I have learned to get past, is that I did nothing, I had no control over it, and I'm not afraid. I mean, I'm not ashamed. So I'm going to continue to share my story. But that was the very first emotion I felt when I was diagnosed, was embarrassment.
Yeah.
I don't know. I had another speaker who said she felt that way as well. So I'm just happy that you both want to continue to share your stories and help other women, and tell other women about going and how important it is, and advocating for yourself. If there's a piece of advice that you can give someone when they're going for their treatments, what would that be?
Well, I say, even though I do it all the time, but at first I didn't, probably because I didn't know how the chemo was going to do me, and they wouldn't allow me, my husband and my father-in-law wouldn't allow me to do it, is to let somebody go with you to help you get through it. Now I do it because it doesn't take that long, and I'm up and moving. Then I wasn't. I was it had got me where I was weak and I needed the assistance to help to walk and all of that. So I would say take somebody with you, pray, just pray, without fail, pray. And if we're talking about chemo, take things you need, your blanket, your socks, your hat, food you think you'll be able to eat and keep down during that time. A book to read, a puzzle to work, something just to make you comfortable to take your mind off of what's actually going on. Because if not, you'll sit there and you'll watch that drip, 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 drip. So just take somebody, pray, take somebody with you, and find something to take your mind off of actually what's going on.
Yeah, every one of my sessions, I think somebody went with me. And we also took a journal and we wrote down everything the doctor said, things we didn't understand, questions we had, they shared. But having someone there definitely made the difference. It did.
I agree. Having someone there makes a big difference.
And I encourage the journal to write the questions, because believe it or not, you get what is called chemo brain, a chemo fog.
Yes, absolutely.
Still got it.
You have exactly. You have all these questions while you're at home feeling bad, and then when you get to the doctor, you forget what you want to ask. So make sure you take a journal and write it all down.
Yes, definitely. You have to. You have to. Jeez. It's so important. Yeah. I definitely did that for each one of my sessions. I still have my journals. I said, oh, maybe I'll turn this into a book because I got so much stuff in these. But definitely.
I actually let my son, I used mine, and I actually let my son read it, and he got to see the good, the bad, and the ugly. And he understood why I didn't want to let him know why he was in Kuwait and Syria, what was going on.
Yeah.
Have you ever sat and counted up the doctor appointments that you had?
No.
It was insane. I had over 200 doctor's appointments. And I mean, when I say the doctors, I mean, including you got to go for your blood work all the time. You have to go back the next day to get the to help your white blood cells regenerate. I mean, each one of those, you're seeing the radiologist, the oncologist, it was insane. And I had never had so many doctor's appointments. My veins they're no good to this day. Like, it was horrible. It was horrible. I had just never had so many doctor's appointments in my life, ever.
And never had so many doctors, hematologists, oncologists, rheumatologists.
Yes. So and when I was in chemo, I lost my sight. I couldn't see for a little bit. It was horrible. I was wearing this little patch because my eyes, it was the brightness will hurt it so bad. It was it was a lot. I'm just listening, talking to you all, and I'm sitting here thinking about being back there, sitting in that chair, and what it was like with that port, getting that. It was a lot.
And if you don't put that numbing cream on your port before they access it.
Oh, well, I didn't get that.
Man,
I didn't get the numbing cream. I just got the poke right in there.
That is the worst.
So you lucky you got you lucky you got numbing cream, because I ain't getting nothing.
Me either.
But here's the other part too that I'm learning now, that these type of things help us, because even like afterwards with the surgery, with the reconstruction, there's pieces about the reconstruction that I found out later that, oh, I could have had that. Oh, I didn't know that, because the doctors don't necessarily inform you of all the pieces that you can have sometimes. Oh, you can have your nipples reconstructed. Oh, I didn't know that. Oh, it's just so many things. But when we're in this type of setting and we're sharing, you help somebody else to know what they're entitled to, what they can request or ask for, because without educating each other, we just don't know. I didn't know that there was the cold caps. I found out
Oh
after the
yeah.
fact, you
Yeah.
know, just different things that you
Mhm.
don't know about. But
Mm-hmm.
let me say this: I knew about them, but I didn't know that your insurance or that there was a company out there that would cover the
Right.
cold caps for you. I didn't
Oh,
know
wow.
that your insurance would pay for you to get back and forth to your doctor's appointments if you needed
Oh,
them
yeah.
to through an Uber. There's just things that I didn't know that
Yeah.
now that I'm on the other side and I've worked and talked to other women that, oh, okay, so I can ask for that. Okay. Or yes, you can request, or, you know, this is available to you.
And for
Mm-hmm.
those who don't know, the cold cap is to help you to keep your hair.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I'm
Oh,
sorry. Yeah.
okay.
To keep
Didn't
your
say
hair.
that. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. To help you.
Wow.
It helps some people. Some people it
Yeah.
don't.
Right.
Um, my hair started falling out. They told me 14 days. By day 12, my hair was, it was just,
Mine was gone by
yeah.
my second treatment.
Yeah, mine too.
Well, that was my first, so that was like week 2 of the first, you know, round of
Yeah.
treatment. So, um, and that was a process because I'd never seen somebody's hair peel off their head and just be
Mm-hmm.
hanging by little. You like, what is this?
Yeah.
Literally, your hair just lift up and peels off your scalp, and you like, wait a minute, what? I videoed that because I was like, look, this is.
Yeah.
It was
It's
like a
just
toupee just hanging
yeah.
on there. I'm like, this is crazy. Um, look, we laugh now, but it was real. Like
Yeah.
the front of your
Yeah, it
hair was
was
hanging
rough.
like a
It
toupee.
was rough.
But through it all, we're still here, ladies.
We're
We're
still here.
beautiful.
Amen.
We're
Yes.
smiling. We're here, and
Mm-hmm.
we have a newfound job, a new club, and that's to continue to spread awareness and to talk about this nasty disease. And until it's eradicated, we are responsible for sharing our
Mm-hmm.
stories and helping others to get through this thing.
Mhm.
So I'm gonna get my flyers together and start posting them back on Facebook for this support group so we can start it back up, ladies. Keep it
Right.
going,
Okay.
and you all spread it to your breast cancer communities. And you know, we come, we talk, we laugh, we cry, we share. That's how we get through this thing, and
Mm-hmm.
we keep it moving. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
I really
That's it.
like this.
That's
This was
all.
good.
Yeah,
This was
it was.
really
I'm so
good.
glad you came. You
Yeah.
know, I'm gonna tease you forever. We talk about,
I
is it this week or next week?
know.
I'm like, we got 45
Oh
minutes,
my
lady. It is
goodness.
today.
Well, today I wasn't feeling good. Don't hold it
I
against
look,
me.
I'm gonna charge it. I'm gonna charge it to your head, not to your heart. I get it.
Yeah.
But
Thank you
I'm
so
so
much for having
grateful.
me.
I am so
Me too.
grateful to have you and grateful for you all to be here. And it gets a little hard. Like I said, I think I want to do um like some type of a reunion for all of my speakers throughout the year. If I can just do like one big one or something like that. I'm gonna have to figure it out. But I'm
Okay.
definitely
Hmm.
going to get the flyers back up there so we can
Okay.
start back with the support groups and
Hmm.
go from there. And I'm just grateful to have you all for sure. So now, ladies,
Hmm.
if someone was interested in reaching you, how could they do that? If there's a lady out there that's listened to your story and resonate with you and say, "Hey, I'd just like to talk to you, get some advice," are you comfortable with sharing an email, an inbox, or how would you like for someone to contact you?
Yeah, I can be reached at my Facebook page, Tatiana McDonald, or you can reach me at Tatiana McDonald 1012 at gmail.com.
Amen.
And I can be reached at Sandra Jenkins at on Facebook. I think that's right. And my email address is sjenks1908 at gmail.com.
Amen. Thank you, ladies. I hope I'm not putting you on the spot talking about if you want to share, because all you had to do is say, nope, I don't want to. I ain't ready for that. But I appreciate it. Definitely. Because someone may want to, you know, reach out to you because
Hmm.
you may be the one to resonate with them, their story,
Mhm.
their journey. They may feel comfortable, like, oh, you know, she my speed. I like that. So,
Yeah.
you know, if that's something that you're able to do, pay it
Hmm.
forward. That's it. So
Yep.
I know Sandra, you was talking about your sending a box to women. I do have what's called the pink box. I don't have it here in front of me, but we provide a box for women who are in treatment if they contact us on our website or just send us an email, we have a box that has things in it, like you're saying, like the socks and the beanies, a small journal for note taking. We put some herbal tea in there because that ginger tea helps me a lot. So different things in the box, just to help, women who are going through it. So our website is www.heal, H-E-A-L, her, H-E-R, the number 2, foundation.org. The email is info at healher2.com, info healher2 at gmail.com. Yeah, I'm sorry, I'll be so bad with these emails. We are on Instagram, we are on Facebook at healher2, heal_her2 is Instagram. You all know you can catch me on Facebook, Dr. Lakeisha McGee or Dr. Lakeisha Ross McGee. It'd be so many of these. It'd be too many pages. And on Instagram is I am Dr. McGee. Basically, what I'm saying is we are here. You can find us if you need support, if you need to talk. You can text me. I call. I talk to people. My book writers, my co-authors used to say, "Do you sleep?" Because it would be 3-4 o'clock in the morning. I'd be sending emails. I'd be they'd be like, "When are you sleeping?" I sleep. Just menopause is crazy with the sleep.
Yeah.
But anyway, if you need to reach one of us to have support, just to talk about your diagnosis, just to get some understanding of words, of diagnoses, of treatment, just anything, we are available. www.healher2foundation.org. And if you know somebody who's in treatment who'd like the pink box, you just let us know on the website and we will send a box out. Ladies, I am so grateful for you both being here today. I appreciate you. This will be the replay it's on Facebook, but I put the replay on YouTube all the time so people can go back. They'll see all of our Survivor Sundays on there, where someone can go back and just listen to the stories and get any support, because every one of my guests, I always ask them if they would like to be contacted. So it's information on there for people who want to be contacted or want to contact someone. It's there. Their information is there. So this has been another edition of Survivor Sunday, and I'm so happy to have you both here today. Thank you so much. You come here with your crown and your pink on.
Yeah.
I wasn't ready for all that today. You all cute. I got the same Survivor crown.
I brought the heat.
Yes. So thank you, ladies, so much. I appreciate you. Like I said,
Thank you.
I did tag you in it, so it should be on your page. But you can always go to my page and forward it if for some reason it didn't, but it should be there. And I will be in contact with you all. As I said, I'm going to work on getting our support group back up and running full speed. I do still talk to women and, we still have support, but not in a big setting. I want us to get back to the big setting.
Okay.
So,
okay.
All right, ladies, have a good night.
All right.
Thank you so
You
much.
too.
All right.
Wow.
Good
All
night.
right.
Good night.
Good night.
Bye-bye.
Good night.